Hey there, everyone. So I thought I'd give a quick update on something I've been building lately. So a couple weeks ago, I stumbled across this Arnis project, and it's pretty neat. It takes real world map data and generates these really awesome Minecraft cities. You can see here a lot of detail. I thought, how awesome would it be if we could use this for generating maps for Fallout New Vegas? And so I looked into it and made it happen. So here on my GitHub, there's kind of a preview of what I built using Arnis, and basically you go through the right settings, it'll generate a map kind of like that. So we're just going to walk through that now. I have the latest binary right here. We just open that up. You can see it's really simple and intuitive. So you pull up this application, and it's got this UI. So just choose a city. I'm going to go with Astoria, Oregon, which children of the '80s will probably remember this city. A lot of movies were filmed here. Kind of a scenic location. So yeah, you just grab this, create a bounding box around the area that you want to generate. Usually want to focus on kind of a smaller location, at least at first. It can take a while to generate all the artifacts and the terrain, etc. So just keep that in mind. So over here in settings, not a whole lot we should necessarily need to change. If you do terrain only, it will just do like elevation and painting the terrain. Objects and terrain will also add in some buildings and shrubs and trees and things like that just for effect. In terms of world scale, I usually set this down to 0.15. That's close to the 1/7 scale that Fallout New Vegas uses by default. If you're looking at a kind of smaller map, you can obviously set that up to 1.0 or somewhere in between. So with that, we have all our settings. We just hit start generation, and it should go. Let's give it a minute here. All right, so you can see it's done, and by default, it'll output to the New Vegas data folder exactly where you want it. So let's pull this up in the GEC and see what we've got. So up here, obviously, we'll choose that, and it will by default output to the Arnis worldspace.zim file. So choose that, and obviously set it to active. Hit OK, and then the world space within the file will be Arnis worldspace, which we'll select here in a moment. Here, Arnis worldspace, and hit cell 00 and see what we get. So you can see here that, as expected, we have a brand new world space. This was generated on the fly. This wasn't something I had baking in the background. If you look closely, you should see this generally resembles the layout of Astoria in the real world. The buildings are a very loose approximation, really just residential versus urban areas. You see houses in the residential areas. That's just the GEC being the GEC. Um, yeah, there we go. And then obviously these big buildings being more like commercial urban areas. So you can see down here kind of the southern shore, and then we scroll over here. See if it'll cooperate. There we go. And kind of the eastern side of, or the western side of things, as it goes over here. And then if you go farther up north, and if the GEC will cooperate with me, then we should see the Columbia River up on the top side. Yeah, there we go. So as you can see, it really takes a lot of the grunt work out of creating maps. It doesn't get all the detail necessarily 100% correct, but you have elevation data, you have kind of terrain painting. You can even see here there's a lot of these are the roads. They're obviously smaller due to the scale of the map, but it gives you an approximation of where everything would be. So you can go through the second pass and kind of clean it up and have a pretty good start here. So we'll just do one more just for fun. Close that out. Let's see. So for this test, we'll do the city of Laughlin. So one of my other projects on top of this is helping out with the Laughlin Bullhead project with the toxic whiteout community. And so we'll just take a look at how that looks. So go to Laughlin right here. And so one of the major encampments in that expansion will be this eastern airport here. So we'll just take this, create a bounding box around that. Our other settings should already be here. So we should see objects of terrain, 0.15. And then we just hit start generation and wait. All right, so it's done. Again, output it to the data folder as expected. Let's pull up the GEC and see what we've got. All right, so now we're in the Laughlin area, and you can see right here. So this is clearly part of the runway. Flip back to this. You can see we're right there in the middle where the runway would be. And then if if the GEC will cooperate with me, you'll see if we as we scroll west, we should get to the shoreline, which we'd expect to see. Getting closer. And yeah, so here we go. This is the water right there. So you can see again a pretty good approximation of the terrain, a pretty good start for the map, and obviously some buildings placed that may not necessarily match what you need, but it gives you a good idea of where things are located. So yeah, with that, this is the first iteration of the Artist project, able to output Fallout New Vegas maps using real world mapping data. So yeah, check it out, experiment, and let me know what you create.